folks, team. We got a lot of work to do here.
HB11 capsule is delivered to the launch pad. Ready for ascent. Over. Copy that. Start the launch procedure.
Platform 1 is ready for launch. Over.
Launch control. Initiating countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Liftoff. Elevated to Hope Station 1. Capsule HB11 has begun its ascent. Stand by to receive. Over.
Hope 1 to elevator, ready for receiving. Over.
Destination Moon, base MT4. Docking gateway provision priority. Highest. Coast crossing route. Always in favor of HB11. Priority launch and landing has been approved by Crust.
Alpha team, get ready to head back home. Over. Watch yourself out there. Lunar night is coming. Stand by, Alpha team. We've got visitors.
Air Tranquilitatis Logistics to incoming transition. Please state your intentions. Over.
Alice to MT Logistics. We have received clearance and hold a signed contract with Mr. Holloway for our mining operations in this designated sector. We're here to commence our activities as scheduled.
MT Logistics to Alice. We weren't informed of your early arrival. We've just finished building the elevator for your drones to access the underground facilities. At the moment, all the electricity is being used to charge the batteries as we prepare for night. We can't route power to the elevator right now. I suggest you keep your mining buddies in orbit for the next 2 weeks while we wait for the sun to come up, sweetheart.
We made it here right on schedule, but waiting for the next morning on the moon, a whole 2 weeks of downtime, is utterly unacceptable. This could jeopardize our entire mining contract. We need a better plan. And the name's Alice, not sweetheart. Good afternoon, Director. This is Alice, your Vice President. We have a bit of a situation here, but I'm already on it. First, let's test our connection. Give this dialog box a click if you're hearing me loud and clear, then we can proceed. Connection solid. That's a start. Give me a few minutes to secure our landing clearance. Feel free to soak in the sights while you wait. I'm sure you have a great view of the moon from your orbital station. So, Robert, do we have a deal?
Let me be clear. A 2-week power outage equals job loss and a costly lawsuit for me. I don't care who you are, get Holloway on this. But no power for you and your toys until sunrise. We just don't have extra electricity right now.
Look, Robert, you and I got off on the wrong foot. Our drones were originally designed for autonomous construction and repair, and we've brought the necessary resources. Grant us landing permission, and we'll handle the power situation ourselves. This benefits both of us. More solar panels for you, and we could land our toys and get going. They also can handle the repairs. So, should I update Mr. Holloway on our successful collaboration?
All right, Alice. You have permission to land. Make sure your fancy drones don't break anything. Over and out.
Director, it's your call. Permission to land has been granted. Show this Bob the Builder that we can fix this.
Objective achieved.
Choose a place to land the pods near the elevator. To do this, click on the notification on the left side of the screen and select an appropriate location.
Director, your primary responsibility is to ensure resource extraction and processing at our logistics hub on the Sea of Tranquility. Currently, it depends on external supplies. If you can address this issue, even partially, rest assured, we'll secure long-term contracts for you in the years to come. I personally vouched for your mission to the board. I'd hate to send you home with nothing. Better help me convince these old-timers that you are a promising team and your work is the future.
Absolutely, Mr. Holloway. Both the director and I are immensely grateful to you. Our focus is on establishing a long-term partnership, and we'll do our utmost to make it a reality. You can count on us. To get started, select the required modules on the construction panel and place their holograms on the moon's surface. The drones will perform. Director, place the holograms of solar panels on the highlighted sites. Our drones will pick up necessary resources and begin construction.
Objective achieved.
Would you look at that? They've actually built them. Not a bad start at all. Alice, can you hear me? Your drones did a good job. Faster than I expected. All the energy from these panels will go to you, but if you want to work at night, you need to take care of saving it now. For this, you're going to need some batteries.
Well, thank you for your unwavering faith in our abilities, Robert. And I hope we've convinced you that we know what we're doing, and now our suddenly efficient drones will be busy building batteries. Director, he's absolutely right. A night on the moon is almost 14 and a half Earth days without the sun, and we do need batteries. Build 4 of them next to the solar panels.
You can't build here. Objective achieved.
Well, your drones really know how to build. Now use the wiring tool and connect the solar panels and batteries. Next, you just need to power up the elevator and you'll gain access to the underground level.
Switch to the utilities mode and...
Objective achieved.
Now that everything is up and running, let's get down to business. Switch to the underground level by pressing tab.
Objective achieved.
Great. To start mining, build the drone configuration module. The elevator transfers power from the surface to the underground level. No need to worry about that. Now wire it to the elevator to power the module.
Pardon my curiosity, but how are you going to extract lunar regolith with cargo robots? I'm far from a robotics expert, of course, but it seems like we have more questions than answers at this point.
That's an excellent question, Robert, and I'd be delighted to answer it. However, I need to wrap up some things first. The drone reconfiguration module allows up to 5 drones to be converted into mining drones and vice versa. Now let's have the drones excavate an area measuring 50 standard. To order the drones to start the excavation, you need to use the highlighting tool and mark areas for digging, and the mining drones will do the rest. Robert, to answer your question, our company has been providing repair and maintenance services for robotics and mining equipment for over 10 years. We were involved in the development and maintenance of technology for lunar mining along with the first industrial expeditions to the moon, even before the construction of the space elevator and the full-scale development of the moon by mankind. And I'm pleased to inform you, Robert, that by pooling our vast experience, we have been able to develop and implement multifunctional drone technology that can be re-equipped for a variety of tasks. Did I answer your question in enough detail, or should I send you a set of materials for review? I can throw in a set of coloring books especially for you, so you can quietly make your downtime in the workplace more enjoyable.
All right, Alice, I get the hint. You do your job and I'll mind my own business. By the way, I'll grab a few coloring books as souvenirs for the kids. I'll be heading home in about 2 weeks. Director, I understand that I can be difficult at times, but your Alice is quite remarkable. She reminds me of my ex-wife.
We're all still on the same channel, Robert.
So, what's up with those coloring books?
I'll send them to your wife along with some flowers. She's not likely to get them from her husband.
This is an emergency broadcast. We have detected an imminent asteroid collision with the moon's surface. We are currently assessing the extent of the damage and the number of casualties. At this moment, our teams are working tirelessly to restore communication with lunar outposts. For those still on the moon, be aware that we are mobilizing all available resources to assist you. Conserve your energy and ration your supplies until further notice. Additional information will be provided as the situation unfolds. Stay tuned for updates. Over and out.
I repeat, Crust has declared a state of emergency of the first degree. Commercial shipments and cargo landings are prohibited. All complexes, resources, and facilities on the moon are now under Crust control. All remaining facilities should switch to emergency frequency and report their status. Conserve energy and resources, and await further instructions.
What's happening? Director, can you hear me? We're receiving reports that a meteorite collided with the moon and the state of emergency has been declared. Director, confirm you're on the line right now. You could have done it more quickly and spared me the worry. Director, there's still no signal from the personnel of the base. I'll try again, but my hope is dwindling. Robert, come in. Robert, do you copy? Robert, damn it, come in. There appear to be no survivors. I'm glad you were on the orbital station when the collision happened. I suggest you stay there as long as possible. We should try to hold out until logistics with Earth are restored. Start with electricity. We still have resources and functional drones. That should be enough for a few solar panels and batteries.
Judging by the seismic activity, the meteorite impact occurred on the far side of the moon. We're lucky it happened so far away from our mission, but the strength of the blast wave raises a lot of questions.
Objective achieved.
Is that all the head of the research department can say? Somewhere far away there was an explosion and we don't know the cause?
Because scientists are working with proven facts, not speculating on fragmentary evidence. Much more data would be needed to reach the conclusions.
We have electricity, but our resource reserves are almost depleted. We need to restore production as soon as possible. Let's start with preparing the elevator to gain access to the underground level. charging station for the drones. Make sure that elevator and charging station are connected to the power network.
Objective achieved.
Director, we're getting word of supply shortages from almost everywhere on Earth. The explosion cut off most of the supply channels from the moon. Millions of people are in need of resources, and we can satisfy that demand. Supplies used to run through the contract system, but it came to a complete halt after the explosion. We might be able to fix that.
The explosion destroyed everything on the surface, but there may still be mining modules underground. We need to go down and see what we have left.
Objective achieved.
Director, we need to reconnect the power supply to the underground level. Connect the elevator and electrical pole with wires so we can see the scale of the damages.
Objective achieved.
That's better. I see that we have a module to produce smart concrete, but we have an urgent need to resume production of steel and silicone. Director, I have an idea. First, convert 5 drones into miners, and we'll proceed.
The drone reconfiguration module allows up to 5 drones to be converted into mining drones and vice versa.
We have smelting furnaces, but to start producing any resource, the relevant oxides are always needed. We will now mine them with the mining drones. Director, we have access to iron and silicone veins. Assign drones to mine the resources from the veins to supply the processing modules with raw materials.
Enter excavation mode and assign mining drones to mine resources directly from a vein.
Objective achieved.
You can now watch mining drones extract the oxides, and working drones deliver them to the smelting furnace. You can adjust the game speed by selecting the desired speed using the interface or the hotkeys 1, 2, 3. This feature can help speed up the building process. Alternatively, you can pause the game to plan your future base at a relaxed pace.
Director. You can never have too much smart concrete, so it's worth spending time to produce it. For this purpose, we have a pressing module, which may not be the most efficient way, but it's good enough to start with. The pressing module requires only regolith, which is a type of lunar dirt plentiful here. Assign mining drones to the evacuation so that we have the resources we need. Free drones will deliver the regolith to production themselves.
here's the latest news regarding contracts. To resume shipments to Earth, we'll need to restore communication and significantly expand production. If we manage this in the near term, I'll negotiate an extremely lucrative contract with the aerospace company FASM. They've lost their supplier and are willing to pay generously for an urgent order. I'm still looking into the matter, but be prepared to devote all resources to this effort if you want to maximize the benefits. I'll return as soon as new information becomes available.
Objective achieved.
Well, that's a start. There should be enough smart concrete for the first time.
Director, we have a message on the emergency channel. I'll put it on the screen.
Attention. This is Arthur Moore, commander of the Hope 2 orbital station. The station has sustained severe damage from multiple collisions. We have lost key control modules. A hard moon landing will occur in the coming weeks. Request assistance from anyone who hears this message. All crew members are ordered to take shelter in Block 4. I repeat.
The debris from the meteorite impact must have gotten Hope 2. I'm already contacting Crust to report it.
Director, my name is Clyde Draper, and I lead the Crust search and rescue operation. We are aware of the situation with Hope 2, and are already developing an evacuation plan. There's still a chance to restore resource mining and production at your facility, and it's in our mutual interest for you to assist us. We need a place to accommodate the rescued crew, and your base is the most suitable candidate for this. Crust will provide you with the necessary equipment and scientific resources to carry out the assigned tasks.
With all due respect, Director, I do not share your doubts. People are in danger, and if it's in our power to help them, we must do so.
With all due respect, Alice, altruism has clouded your judgment. Crust is clearly asking for grant aid that we cannot afford right now. I suggest we focus on restoring production and resuming shipments to Earth, where resources are urgently needed right now. Also, I've negotiated a prepayment with FASM. We can use their funds if we start reestablishing the contract system now.
But all you care about is profit. If that's the case, think of the technology Crust will provide. It's worth as much as our base in its current state.
Do we pay a fair price for their technology? Don't forget, Director, by accepting Crust's offer, we will allow them to decide how our base is developed. We'll have to focus on the construction of the living quarters and postpone the expansion of high-tech manufacturing and investigation of the meteorite case.
Crust is going to accommodate the surviving Hope 2 crew members at your base in exchange for equipment and technologies for us to carry out a rescue mission. If you accept Crust's offer, you will lose access to the FASM contract, for which the corporation is willing to pay upfront.
I hear you. Crust is capable of organizing a rescue operation independently, but the explosion damaged the system for communicating with the nearest facilities. You need communication for full operations on the moon, and we need it to rescue the crew of Hope 2. Your base is the closest to the repeater, and we can provide the equipment for the repairs. It's a mutually beneficial proposal, Director, but I understand if you want to discuss it with your colleagues again.
If we decide to resume supplying, we'll need to interact with others to share the resources, and to do so, we have to establish communication.
Fixing a repeater is no big deal, but the Crust equipment isn't just lying around. We've already been offered it twice. There may not be a third time.
Crust is requesting your assistance in restoring the communication system on the moon in exchange for equipment to perform work on the
Pleasure doing business with you. We'll send you the rover scout and the coordinates for the repeater shortly.
Don't call me cynical, but the best we can do under the current circumstances is try to salvage the equipment that miraculously survived.
Well, let's not waste any time. Professor, you prepared a research plan before starting the expedition, didn't you?
Absolutely. First, we need to increase production. We have smelting furnaces, but we need extractors and refineries to extract the oxides. Director, research underground mining and place 2 extractors on the iron and silicon veins.
Research complete.
Don't forget that extractors need electricity. Hold down shift to build a chain of utility poles.
You can't build here. Objective achieved.
I see in the data that the extractors have started mining. Now, finish the research and build 2 regolith refineries for producing iron and silicon, respectively.
Research complete.
Director, place the regolith refineries similarly to optimize future production. The single regolith refinery extracts the necessary oxides from the regolith by thermal treatment. The process leaves slag that can also be used in production.
Objective achieved.
The single regolith refinery is a mono-refinery that can only produce one type of oxide at a time. Be sure to select the recipes for iron and silicon oxide to start production.
Objective achieved.
Director, a conveyor belt will speed up production and eliminate the need for drones in resource delivery. I advise you to keep an eye on this technology.
You heard him, Director. Now we have a steel production chain, but we can increase its efficiency by connecting the modules with conveyor belts. It will reduce the load for drones and speed up production. Exactly what we need right now.
Research complete.
Use the conveyor tool and connect the extractor to the refinery and smelting furnace. This way, the resource-rich regolith will go into the refinery without needing to engage drones. Optimization at its best.
Objective achieved.
Director, we managed to send the Research Rover Scout. It's essential for your mission. Examine the satellite repeater and activate it by any means possible. Mr. Ratchet will help you sort out the controls. You're free to use data that will help the mission. Some of it will expedite the research. Professor Wilfrey knows what to do with it. However, remember that all ship logs, crew records, and other materials related to the incident are the property of Crust. Your company has no authority to examine this information.
Ratchet, did you hear? Crust put you in charge of the new toy. Don't mess it up. They won't give us another one.
I wouldn't laugh at that if I were you. We're sending an expensive machine off base where the satellite link doesn't work. If we lose it, well... Anyway, Director, let's get back to work. Land the cargo pod with the rover and we'll continue.
Objective achieved.
Horizon 6. Almost everything has been modified. Only the hull is original. There's serious hardware there. Even Crust doesn't have much like it. Send it off base and see what we can find with it.
Objective achieved.
Crust has sent the coordinates of the repeater. Let's send the rover there and try to deal with that piece of junk.
Colleagues, I'll remind you that we already received payment for the FASM contract, but haven't started fulfilling it yet. We need to hurry up to avoid damaging our reputation as a reliable supplier.
In this case, we need to research and build a landing platform.
Director, I consider it my duty to remind you that lunar research is divided into three main fields: fundamental, engineering, and social. Each laboratory is capable of conducting independent research, but studying certain technologies may require the cooperation of multiple fields. All available research is grouped into three main directions: fundamental, engineering, and social. Fundamental research is responsible for logistics and communication with other organizations, as well as drone improvements. Engineering research helps develop mining and production. Social research ensures that colonists at the base live and work comfortably. Some research requires multiple types of science points at once. You can assign tasks in different sections, and then the research plan will be conducted in parallel. The speed of research depends on your science points income. You can always rearrange your research to actualize the priorities for your current goals.
Director, it will be extremely difficult to fully reactivate the repeater under the current circumstances. It will still serve our mission, but it is no longer connected to Earth. We extracted the necessary data, but I'd suggest holding off on reporting it to Crust. It's full of valuable resources that would come in handy at our base.
Mr. Ratchet, are you out of your mind? You're going to go behind Crust's back, and this rover isn't even capable of carrying cargo.
We'll report the data we found after retrieving the surviving resources. Crust doesn't necessarily need to know they existed. For delivery, let's try to fix this piece of scrap metal, Pathfinder 3B. It's an outdated model, but it has increased maneuverability and payload capacity. Just what we need. Excellent. Crust has enough on their plate. Let's not bother them unnecessarily. Send the drones to repair the cargo truck when they have enough materials. Director, it looks like the rover has run out of power. Now, it couldn't beat a turtle in a race, and until the sun is up again, there's nothing we can do about it. The rover is solar powered, and as soon as the sun goes down, it starts using energy from its batteries. Keep the...
Director, we're testing Crust's patience. I would strongly advise against giving such a powerful corporation a reason to be disappointed in our company.
Research complete. Objective achieved.
The only thing left to do is to get a license to access the tender system, so that we can become legitimate participants in the global contracting system.
Objective achieved. Research complete.
We're ready to get started. This Director. Now I'll explain. At the top of the screen are the main categories of the control center. We're looking for the contracts category. You're now in the contracts tab, where you can see all available. The left column shows the factions that issue contracts. Click on a faction name in the active tab. Please return to the control center interface and we will proceed. The left column shows the factions that issue contracts. Click on a faction name in the center is information about the faction and its contracts. Now select the active contract. This window provides all the information you need about the selected contract. Here you can track its status, accept or cancel contracts, and send resources. Please take a look at it and click Send Resources when you're ready. You have entered the logistics interface. On the left side of the screen is a list of required resources, which you fill in from your base's supplies. In the lower
Objective achieved.
You might not think so by the look of this old guy, but the cargo truck has passed all the tests and is ready to go. Now send it to the repeater and pick up the resources we found.
Objective achieved.
Alice, we're done. The resources are already in the truck. It's time to report back to Crust.
Okay, I'll send a message.
Objective achieved.
Do you not understand the seriousness of the mission entrusted to you? You were supposed to hurry. We anticipated that fully restoring communication with the moon might not be easy, but the situation is even worse than expected. Listen to me carefully, Director. From now on, any information you receive from Crust must be kept strictly confidential. You are tasked with organizing and equipping an expedition to the meteorite impact site on the far side of the moon. To accomplish this, you will need to obtain navigation data for the transport, deploy a life support system for the operators, await further instructions.
So, Crust signed us up for a top-secret operation without even asking the Director.
It surprises me that they ask for his opinion about accommodating Hope 2. Usually, if Crust wants something, they don't ask permission.
Given the current situation, this is even to our advantage. Their capabilities on the moon now depend on us. This means we can get everything we need from them in exchange for cooperation. Crust's tasks require significant resource investment, which means we need to seriously expand our manufacturing capabilities. Let's start producing components. We need titanium to manufacture parts. Find titanium deposits among the regolith using an ore detector to seriously expand our manufacturing capabilities.